weird spot,
Mm-hmm.
like my hallway, where
Mhm.
there's nothing to grab onto.
Yeah.
And I have gone down and my air conditioned vents there,
Mhm.
which is metal, I got
Mhm.
somebody put a plastic one on. I've had that rip my head open,
Oh, wow, yeah.
and there's nobody in the house,
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I had her trained, at least I could get her to pull me away a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
so I could get some kind of grip.
Exactly.
But, you know, I've done that before, I've laid there for hours,
Wow.
and I said, this isn't gonna work.
No, like, yeah, no, she'll be able to help you the right way and be able to.
And she's not really a hyper dog.
No, she's definitely, temperament is definitely good that way, like, she's
Uh-huh.
not, in terms of really, holding a lot of control, but she has a good, really good temperament. And this is just the issue with the stress that's been on her, right? So, control still, that's a confidence thing, right? So, getting her confidence up comes through, leadership and through interacting with her the way I'm doing it, to start to build her confidence, taking the path of the demand, just like a parent-child relationship. So,
Okay, now her butt needs to be that far over behind you?
I'm bringing her over, I'm bringing her right
Okay.
next to me here, because right now, I want this really in nice and close,
Mhm.
lined up. I want her kind of set back
Okay.
enough so that when she pops up, she won't be sliding too far to the front anyway. This is like the go-to for creating in terms of changing her perception. Like, for example, position-wise, I'm more focused on, like, when I'm putting a dog into a very specific spot, it's where they don't want to be
Right.
for a reason, because of how this is lining up,
Uh-huh.
by way of interactions and control influence. So it's very specific right here. This is mostly for the reason of getting her perceptions to change,
Right.
focus on me. This is like the relationship side of the process. After her perceptions change at a really high level, then if I want to make adjustments with needing her out this way a little bit or that way a little bit, that's no problem.
Mhm.
Because we've already lined that up in terms of her, because then she's going to be very agreeable. And like I said, if you're on the floor and just like move and release a little bit, she'll make those adjustments.
Right.
So this is mostly right here, the reason I have her right in a certain, all the dogs in training, you see me doing right here.
Right.
Because it lines it up. It really,
Right.
because that's why they want to be out here a couple inches
Yeah.
or out in front,
Yeah.
because it's about control. So at first, I'm not allowing them, see right here, she went out a little bit, and see, because she's saying, I don't want, what she's saying is, I don't want to be right beside Dale like that, because that's the ultimate power play,
Right.
right? He wants me right there, I want to move out a little bit away from him, because I want to keep that distance from him.
Right.
So this is kind of different that way.
Mhm.
You understand, Joanne? It's like
Yeah.
a different type of thing going on here.
Yeah.
Because you might look at it and say, well, maybe she needs to be a little bit this way because of this. Right now, this is mostly the relationship part I'm fixing.
Right.
And then if you say, for whatever reason, say, Dale, I ultimately like her to be out here, half a foot. For whatever the reason is, I say, okay, yeah, we'll do that. Once we get her perceptions changed the right way, then we will bring her out there, then it's different.
Right.
Because doing is a follower.
Yeah.
Right, it's not gonna represent her thinking she's gaining control, because you don't want dogs, that's why dogs want to be out in front and stuff like that. So right here, it's very specific, very specific at first, I didn't do it, she just kind of, so there's moments that she's kind of making a little adjustment, just because, it's not because she's trying to, right here, see, she comes out, right, see that?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna say, no, and I'm not in a panic about it, I'm not trying to just jam her down, but because it's about my moments.
Yeah.
Because I know that she's gonna have that reaction because we're still in process, like an intervention. And so, she senses that I'm taking control this way. And so her mind's gonna respond, and so she'll get up and move a little bit. When that happens, I just reassert and bring her back in.
Yeah.
So I just keep adding to my moments. Eventually, this is how you tell a dog is changing, is when the more and more agreeable she becomes to what I'm doing. That's the test.
Yeah.
Because they'll say, well, Sadie's not trying to move away from Dale at all. She's just, she's looking okay. But this is why you see dogs that look kind of depressive or looking a little crazy, right?
Right.
During the process, because they're still, it's still power play, right? They're still kind of in conflict with this a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, come see that same thing, see
Yeah.
the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And so I just want her, I'm just like, we're speaking like it's like having a conversation with the
Yeah.
dog. Say, no, you're gonna be right there.
Yeah.
And you're gonna accept it. I'm not upset about anything, but I'm just gonna keep, it's like, just keep bringing her in. Say if she comes up and I tap a little bit. And then sometimes, I mean, let's say, right there, for example, her leg moved and she just kind of, shifted her body over a little bit. Not a big deal, so I just left, So it just depends on, you kind of tell what it is.
Yeah.
Whether it's a reaction to, me bringing them under level influence, or whether maybe they're shifting her body a little bit. So it's all about, but again, there'll be other things to know. As you do it, there's information to these interactions that, like, I'm gathering information that everything I'm doing
Yeah.
will tell me, give me context for everything else. So I'll know, when I hit a certain mark, I'll say, okay, we're in good shape. And now I'll start to focus more on the response side of things, the tasks, or doing this, do that. Because here's the thing, is if I start too soon on a task, it isn't gonna line up anyway, because you're still in battle with the dog.
Yeah.
So if I'm trying to do it the right way, not bribe a dog with treats, but if I'm trying to do it the right way, through a demand, then, it's gonna be too much of a struggle, right? Because it's, they're not gonna, isn't gonna line up, because their motivations are different.
Yeah.
Right, once you get a high level focus and they're very agreeable, now they're focused on me saying, okay, now I'll do what you want me to do.
Right.
Now I'll stand up, now I'll pick up an object. So then even if I have to use a little motivator, which I'm doing Milo for picking up objects now, to help complete that final job to get it right off the floor, that's okay. If you want to use a treat or use something at that moment of that time, certain place, that can be okay. But then they go away very quick.
Right.
So I just use them to kind of finish a little, like, the complete the extra little dot, because maybe he's not quite as motivated to want to get that off the floor. He'll get down there, but then I'm like, okay, now I'll use a treat just to motivate him, get that motivation up really high, but then I just get rid of it once it's there. But I won't do that until his thinking's right.
Yeah.
I won't do it, if you do it right away, that'll be a problem.
Yeah.
Because he takes this as bribery, and then, then you go out in the public in the store or something, and you have treats, or you don't have, the dog isn't gonna do it.
No.
Because it's saying, well, I'm gonna do it now, because nothing in it for me.
Yeah.
Right, so it's a whole relationship side, things you have to kind of know the order of things, so if I'm going through a sequence, Joanne, I'm doing this and this first, clean up the relationship, then, if I need to use a motivator, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah, because where she is now is a good place for her to be. A step ahead of that, for me personally, is gonna be a bad place.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Because her leg out a little more, I will trip.
Yeah, you want her, like you said, in tight, because right here, for example, if I bring her up, give her the stand command, stand, right here, then as she does, see, this is the thing, right? I'm pushing her in beside me like this, because I want her right close to you, because if she moves her body out too far, then it's not gonna be stable.
Right.
Right, it's gonna throw you off, so the closer in she is, and then she's in here like this, and I'm tapping the leash a little bit, to help to stabilize her mind, because it's a demand, just keep her focused right. See, I'm just nudging a little bit, I'm pushing, good girl. I can give her a little bit of reward, that's fine. I can motivate her, but this is again following the path of the demand. Good girl, good girl. And then I move with her, and I move, she's inclined to want to move away, so I just bring her body in, this is part of the training. So I move, I want her body right in next to you, so I'll bring her right in close. But that's going to represent, that closeness is what is going to give you the ability to be stable. She tries to sit down. See, she doesn't like it because it's putting more demand on her, right? So I'm saying, no, I want you tucked right in here, tight, good girl. Right, I want her tucked in. But I do it in motion. So as I move, if I feel right here, if I move, I know that she wants to come out a little bit. I just kind of mold it in here a little bit, and good girl. You see, and then it's shaping it.
Yeah.
Good girl. And then it'll start to happen on its own. See? Does that make sense? So so you want right in nice and tight.
Yeah.
Because her sliding out, the reason she's sliding out for the command too is because it's part of the relationship thing, right? It's like saying, Dale's trying to bring me under control for this too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna challenge that a little bit, see right here, so I have to keep, I want her right in nice and tight. Because this is where, again, she needs to be.
That's where she needs to be.
Where she needs
Because one step ahead,
yeah.
for me personally, is going to throw me off.
Yeah, we don't do that anyway. I'm just saying if there was a reason somebody wanted that, which I can't foresee why there would be, but I'm just saying if the dog owner said, well, Dale, I need my dog out, out edged out front, for whatever challenge they have physically, I would say, okay, but first, I need to do it this way
This
forward.
way, yeah.
Until their thinking's right, and then we can make that adjustment and it's fine. So, that's because it's about relationship first. This is why Sadie wants to keep sliding out, right? Because there's still that little battle in her mind, because this is taking a certain path with her. And but she'll become more agreeable as we continue to do it. Right? She just stop doing it anyway, because saying, well, this ain't working. I'm just gonna agree with what Dale's doing, and then she will do it consistently that way for moving forward for the future.
Yeah, because I've seen quite a few dogs in the store. Well, first of all, I can tell by different dogs who's got a trainer, who doesn't.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, and the ones that don't, the dog is way over here. They have no control over the dog, and they're yanking them back. Well, they've already dropped everything they got off the shelf.
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's a mess. They just want the dogs with them.
Yeah.
And they probably don't want to, put the time in or have the trainer do it. They just want the dog with them.
Yeah.
And, they're saying it's a service dog, and that's pretty common. I mean, that happens a lot. So my whole thing is just, if Sadie encounters another dog, I want her to be, I want her to be relaxed. That's the thing. Even if it's an out of control, non-service dog, I don't want, she should just continue to be relaxed. Doesn't matter if she encounters another dog, what's the situation with the other dog. That's not important to me.
Right.
Because that's the store's, thing or whatever. All I care about is she's able to relax.
Right.
So that's why I tap her a little bit and stuff. But she's doing really good. So let me line this up. I'm gonna bring her beside you here again. And we'll walk with her too in a minute, but we'll do the walking as we make our way to the vehicle for the, other exercise. But right here, just bring her beside it. Start to bring her in a little bit. Tell her to sit.
Sit. Sit.
Yeah, and tell her to down.
Down.
I'm gonna push a little bit here to
Down.
help you. Very good. Now hang out there just for a moment. The same thing, just.
See, the bad thing for me is I'm left-handed and my left side is bad. So
Yeah.
that's I have to be really careful.
Sure.
That's the only thing.
Well, we'll make the adjustment, because I know that the preference is her to be able, like, the front of you, so we're just gonna practice here just for a moment with, you don't have to try to stand up here, Joanne, but we'll get her to the front of you here in a minute, and then you can, if that's easier for you, that's what you want, we'll do the exercise there too, but I just wanna do it here just for the sake of practice, so
Yeah.
when you're ready.
I just don't want her to get up and get ahead of me.
No.
Then I've got a problem.
Yeah, no, what do you mean, for like, even when you're sitting, you mean, or just when
Yeah,
you're walking
I
in
mean,
general?
if I say to her up,
Mhm.
and then she gets a foot or two ahead of me, and then I can't get up in time to get with her, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, no, we're gonna adjust this to make sure she
She's
stays
gonna
back.
stay back.
That's right, we want her to pop straight up, basically.
Okay.
So wherever her laying position is, the idea here is for her to just to pop right up, straight,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And so,
Because this is what I like, this
Yeah.
is good.
yeah, so right from there, the idea is right from there, her to come straight up. When I'm training a dog, sometimes what I do is I have to move my head just a little bit to generate that at first, until they pop up. So I'm kind of shaving off that forward momentum a little bit each time. But sometimes I have to move at least forward just a little bit during training to help them to come up into the stand position, right? But after a while, they pop straight up anyway. So give her the command when you're ready.
Up,
Good girl. See, she popped right up there really good. And again, go ahead, from here, just put a little bit of pressure on her. Push with your hand.
I'll have, to get up I have.
No, don't bother. I just want to put pressure. Because
Okay.
we'll move her, because I think it's better for you in the front anyway, right?
Okay.
But we'll move her. We're just going to do the tell her sit.
Sit, sit,
Tell her down again.
down,
This is just for training.
down, steady down.
Yeah. This is just for training, because we're just doing it here, because this helps, like, in terms of, mixing it up a little bit, from a different, place that maybe you would normally do it. It just helps anyway, because we want her to be able to do it, say, for example, you fall down, and you could be in a corner or whatever, this is just for practice, to help her just to do it.
Right.
And then your preference thing is gonna be in the front, and here in a moment, we'll do it in the front, and that's, for you to actually push on her and stand up. Because you mentioned before, Joanne, I believe it's just the front where you want in the front, right?
Yeah.
So let's tell her to stand up here again, just tell her to sit, actually.
Sit,
And we'll press, yeah, there we go. her into the sit, yeah. Now, from here, you're gonna bring her to your front here.
Okay.
Use the leash to do it, very good. And then, yeah,
Okay,
and tell her to sit.
sit, sit,
Yeah, and you tell,
down,
yeah, that's right, tell her to down.
down,
Yeah, there we go, just hang on it for a second. So this will be the spot, the preference spot, right, to help
Yeah.
you stand up.
to
Okay.
stand up,
Yeah.
or if I'm out eating or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever, this is the spot I need.
Yeah, so here it's good to, hey, say stop. Hey, so here what we want to do is, do the side one, because like I mentioned before, you might get in a restaurant and for whatever reason, she may not be in front of you the whole time.
Mhm.
Just for the time, when you're actually gonna stand up, you may need her to lay down,
Right,
on
on either side of the
a
chair.
chair or
Yeah.
bench seating or whatever you're at. So we just wanna make sure that she is used to, making adjustments.
Right.
Because what happens if we just do the front all the time,
She,
then she's gonna get kind of stubborn about it, say,
Yeah.
hey, Joanne wants me to move to the side, I don't want to, I wanna be, 'cause she starts to take this as a
Yeah.
little bit of comfort,
Yeah.
right? And like eating comfort food, right? You say, no, need you to go to the side. So we just want her to at least know, like, 70% of the time we're practicing, we'll do it to the front.
yeah.
But then the 30% to max it out, we wanna do it on the
Yeah,
side. a little
side,
bit,
yeah.
Just to help.
Because, at times I will be at tables or,
Yeah.
if I
Yeah.
go to an event or something, they have them lined up
Lined
the
up.
tables.
Yeah, and that way you know that, to accommodate the situation, that you can have her wherever, lay down for while you're eating your food or whatever.
Mhm.
And just like we did there, when you're ready to leave, you need her, just, tell her to come, move the leash a little bit, and then she'll end up right in front of you anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so give her the command when you're ready to stand.
Up,
So just kind of move that leash that way a little bit. And now you put pressure on her to stand if you want. Yep, there, yeah.
yeah, good one.
There you go, steady, use her to steady yourself.
Okay.
All right, okay?
Yeah,
All right, you can sit down again if you want. Just use her to get leverage yourself, very good. And tell her to sit again,
sit, sit,
tell her to down.
down, down,
There you go, perfect. How'd that feel?
okay.